All right. Woo. Look. I got that wow. Who wants some hands up right now? We got that. Turn it up loud. I know you're wondering how. I got that wow. Here I go, coming. I can't ever stop. I'm a tour de force running. Get me to the top. I don't need a.
Good evening.
Hi, Stacey.
Hello, Kitty. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good too. As everyone that's watching can see, there are only 2 cocktails this evening. If you're listening, there are only 2 of us.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
We're 1 cocktail down.
We are 1 cocktail down, yes. Amy is feeling under the weather and decided that wouldn't be the greatest to be on the podcast tonight. We kind of delayed as long as we could, and we need to record tonight so we have a episode to drop. So we hated to wait any longer.
The show must go on.
The show must go on. Yes. So we were disappointed that she's feeling pretty crappy. A lot of stuff's been going around. Has it been going around there too?
Yes, big time.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's everywhere. So you know, when I jump on and do my shows, I'm talking to people who are all over the country, and they're saying it too. Oh, I've been so sick. You know, so it's like, I don't know, it's flu season, I guess.
It's flu season. Yeah. Yeah, we've had 3 out of the 4 of us at work had it. So we're hoping not to get the 4th one sick, who's on vacation. So hopefully she comes back and misses it. We all had like the norovirus flu junk. I've heard COVID going around. So, yeah, I don't think that's either one of those is what Amy has. So, yeah, just a lot of junk at the moment. Yeah. So hopefully our listeners are staying clear. Wash your hands. Stay away from sick people. Stay home if you're sick. As usual. So, I know. Not very good. What was that?
If you're sick, stay home.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people have a problem doing that.
Get rest. Yeah. It's hard to do because, you know, even like when I was sick, by the end I was feeling good, but I know you're still contagious for a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, just good to stay home.
Yeah. So what should we talk about tonight?
Yeah. Our topic tonight is things we see online or corporate jargon that just drives us nuts is our topic tonight. We have a few of Amy's as well. We quizzed her to tell us what hers were. I'll go first with one of mine that I all of a sudden cannot stand.
Okay.
And that is all of these hacks. You know, do you see that online where they say, here's a hack for this and a hack for that?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And to me, a hack is, I even looked up the definition. It's like a you know, easy, not fancy, but effective solution, right? Well, the one that finally tipped me over the edge was I was scrolling like we all do. And this one woman said, oh, I have this travel hack. And I'm thinking, okay, a travel hack. And all it was that she was trying to, you know, influence and push this 3-piece travel outfit, you know, that wouldn't wrinkle. You can shove it in your suitcase, shove it in your, you know, carry-on bag, whatever, and it won't wrinkle. And it's like, no, that's not a hack. That's just maybe a good idea.
Tip.
And a tip. And here's something that would work. It's not a hack. Yeah. So everything is all of a sudden a hack for this and a hack for that. So that's one I'm kind of tired of hearing. Yeah.
That's a good one. I'll be picking up on it more now. Now that you
I know, right?
That you heard it.
Now that we said it out loud, Yeah, exactly.
Uh,
Oh,
um,
well.
so, or at this time of year, now that everybody's kind of back at work, and um, so many things just kind of shut down as we get to the end of the year. And how many messages did you get from people that they said, let's circle back on this after the first of the year? So we've talked about that one before. That's
Yeah.
classic one. It's one that is, we joke about so much because it's, people now, even when people legitimately say it, they kind of chuckle because they know they're using a term that's super annoying. But I think it's funny when we start looking at social media now after the beginning of the new year, and that meme pops up and it says, oh God, everybody's circling back now.
Yeah. That one was on my list too, because I just can't stand it. Yeah. And I don't know where that started. Did it really start? I think the first time I heard it was, Jen, I don't know what her name, Psaki, the Biden's first press secretary kept using it over and over. And
Oh,
it was just like, no. Yeah.
oh my God.
Yeah. Very
So
weird.
a really funny influencer or I don't know if she's an influencer or if she's just a social media person, but Corporate Natalie is hilarious. I know all three of us follow her and share things that she puts out on social media. But to our listeners, if you don't follow Corporate Natalie on Instagram, she is hilarious and everything is a parody. And she nails it on the head every single time. It's hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know how we got, I Googled like the, most annoying, irritating corporate speak words. And I'll be honest, I used way too many of them. You know what I mean? There's way too many of them in there that I use, but
Yeah. Yeah, I know. And then I have a whole list of them here. And as I read down the list, I can actually envision the people in my life who, oh, that's what that person always says. Oh, that's what that person always says. So, best practices. I used to work with somebody a couple of companies ago. It was a guy, and I don't think a day went by that he did not say best practices maybe 10 times. like every day, to the point where it starts to not mean anything anymore.
yeah. I do use that, but not multiple times a day, only in the discussion of, okay, what would be the best practice? That
Yeah.
would be not very often would that come up. Huh, that's interesting. What else you got?
Mission critical.
Isn't every mission critical?
I feel like it's so dramatic. Like, okay,
Yeah.
we're not we're not going to the moon.
No.
We're not putting a rocket into orbit. That's kind of, I feel like, mission critical. It sends me down that road. But meant to be essential to, so like, then why don't we just say essential to success?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, what do you get it? What's the opposite of that? Mission mediocre. you know, everything you're doing is supposed to be top of the line. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah. Amy brought up one. She doesn't like ideate.
Oh, she hates that word.
Hates it. And I don't like it either. And in fact, at work, I'm going to guess 5 to 8 years ago, Poet came out with ideation. So there was an actual site that you went and you put in your ideas in ideation. And the joke was, well, you put in 100,000 of them. I don't care. Not any of them are going to get done. And they never did. And it kind of went away. So it's just kind of like, what a waste of time.
Yeah.
Your ideation, your ideate. Yeah, you're brainstorming and you're looking for ideas. Why do we have to name it, anything other than brainstorming.
So I was first introduced to that word. It was probably around the time I started working at Capsule. So that was 2008. It was 2008. And the word was used for the creative process. So that was a design firm. So that was the creative process. So this was when designers were sitting down, they were looking at a brief, and they were starting to just throw ideas, out onto not paper, but onto their designing software. And so in 2008, that was a new term to me. But yeah, it shows up in different types of businesses. And so now I feel like I've been removed from it now. I don't feel like I see that term a lot, but I do hear people say, well, let's ideate on this.
Still using it?
Yeah. Yeah, a little bit.
Interesting.
Let's see. Deep dive.
Oh, deep dive. Yeah.
And that's one that I've been known to use.
Oh,
also, so in addition to deep dive, I will also often say, let's dig into this a little bit.
Yeah.
And I kind of wonder.
I don't hate that, though. I don't hate deep dive or dig into this. I don't hate those. Yeah.
I think Mel Robbins is the queen of let's unpack this.
Unpack. I have that on my list as well. Unpack it. Yes. Let's unpack this. Again, to me, that's still deep dive or dig into it. I don't know why you got to call it unpack. Yeah. Amy had an odd one. She was looking through LinkedIn, I guess, and people were describing themselves as thought leaders. It's like thought leader, you're leading thought. And her question was, okay, who are the thought followers? If you're a thought leader, which you're very good at leading thoughts, who are the thought followers? It doesn't make a lot of sense to be a thought leader. Aren't we all thought leaders? Yeah, that's an interesting description of in the corporate world.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And I don't remember roughly the time frame when I started to see that phrase pop up. See it a lot on LinkedIn, obviously. And it always kind of puzzled me as well, because I think for the same reason. It's like, if you're a thought leader, I think it comes down to the fact that I don't think everybody is a thought leader. Not everybody is a thought leader. So,
sure.
Yeah. But I don't know. Sometimes it feels a little pompous to call yourself a thought leader.
I agree. I think it does. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yes, for sure. What else do you have?
So I feel like the term ping me. I think ping me starts to date people, actually. Like, I don't think you'd hear the younger generations say ping me.
No. What do they say? I don't know what they say.
Hit me up.
Probably.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Actually, that's a good question. What do they say? Because
I don't know.
They like to communicate differently in the workplace in general. So, and now, I'm removed from this, so I don't, and I've always worked for small companies. So the younger generation that's coming into the corporate world, I get a sense that they don't really like email.
No.
So if you're not using email, what are you using? Don't you kind of have to use email to communicate in the corporate world?
Well, depends on who you're communicating with. I tell you, like we've all gone, I told you this some other time, we're all on Zoom phone now. So, which
Oh, that's right.
also includes Zoom chat. And so we have, I mean, obviously you can chat, or instant message between just, two people. You can also set up group after group after group after group. And so it seems to be a more, what do I want to say? Faster, in the moment way of communicating. So like we'll have different groups based on what information is, we're wanting. And, if you do that by email, you have to keep replying all to everybody, over and over, and then read the email string. Where your IM group, you just go up a few conversations and you basically have the gist of it.
Yeah.
And I would guess that younger generation probably likes that a lot better than going back and forth in an email.
Okay.
But I don't know. Like I said, that's just our groups and how we've done it. Yeah, because email strings tend to get lengthy and
Yeah. Well, and then it to the point where should this topic that's being discussed, should this have been a meeting? Because if you have to have that many back and forth conversation or back and forth exchanges, perhaps it should have been a meeting so that you can get in.
Yeah,
I think have frozen up there.
Yeah, you were frozen a little. Yeah, I think that's the dilemma a lot of times nowadays is, did we need to have a meeting or not need to have a meeting? Yeah. Yeah, it seems like a lot of our email anymore, might be sending files and large amounts of information instead of just ask a question, answer a question, that kind of back and forth type of thing. But, it doesn't seem like the young people like to be on the phone or in meetings or even talk to people a lot of the times. Depends on what job you have. I will admit that. Ours is a very, we talk to hundreds of people. So you can't be shy that way. But I can see where, younger generation doesn't want to have a phone conversation very easily.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was in my search for irritating corporate jargon, there was a little section on, new, you know what I mean, new words that are popping up, based on, young people, the sus, and the, you know what I mean, all of those type words that young people are using.
I think it's always fun to see the list of new words that are going into the dictionary.
Yeah, that is interesting. Yeah, I know.
We should pull those. We should pull those for a future episode. And
we should and go over what they mean, because that's probably a good idea. I don't know half the time what some of those words mean. It'd probably be a good idea just to define some in case you're, your young people that your kids, your grandkids, who knows?
So every once in a while I like to make Bo embarrassed. And that's our job. It's our job as a parent. Yeah. So I was talking to one of my coworkers who is 28, 29 at the time. And she used the term, she said, did you know that now the shortened version of charisma, when someone has charisma, the shortened term is Riz.
They have Riz.
Riz. Yeah. And I'm like, this was new to me. I'm like, I've never heard of this before. Okay. So I found an opportunity at dinner. We were sitting at dinner, Bill and I, Bo and his girlfriend. And we had a really good waiter. Really, really good waiter. Young man. He walked away from the table and I said, that guy's got Riz. And you would have thought that Bo almost became unglued. He said, Mom, he was disgusted. He was absolutely disgusted that I don't know that I'd used this term, that I'd referred to this waiter, who was probably his age. I don't know, but it's kind of funny to use some of the terms around younger people, see their reaction.
Yeah. Now, if they just said it, it'd have been normal, but you can't say it. Is that the thing? You can't use it.
Apparently. Yeah, apparently I can't.
Well, or he was mortified that you actually knew what it meant.
It seemed more that he was mortified that I used that term for this young man in this setting. It seemed cringe. I think he actually said, Mom, you're so cringe.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I know you get that a lot. So
yeah.
I know, it's funny. Funny the stuff they come up with. But then there's even like old words like surreal.
Yeah.
Half the time I don't even know what that means. I'm not even sure. But everybody uses it all the time. Like, this is so surreal.
So what does that word mean?
I don't know.
Like,
does it mean like it's I don't know. We got to look that up. It's hard to define. Surprising how great it is, something like that.
Or like this doesn't feel real.
Can't believe that it's real. Yeah, probably. Yeah, it's so great. I can't believe it's real. It's surreal. I don't know. Do we have a Google on that one?
Well, it pulled up surrealism.
This is one of Amy's words that she hates. She says it's way overused. Can't stand it when celebrities use that word.
Having the qualities. Okay, I hate definitions like this. So I looked up surrealism.
That told you nothing.
No, that's not a... Okay, what does it mean to be surreal? Marked by the intense, irrational reality of a dream. Unbelievable. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Feels very dramatic.
So why isn't it just unbelievably fantastic instead of surreal? This is so great. This is fantastic.
It's very dramatic. That's why.
Evidently.
So here's another one that's super dramatic and unnecessarily complicated. Disintermediate.
Disintermediate.
Yes.
And the definition of that is what?
To eliminate the middleman.
Oh, intermediate. Sure.
So
so why don't we just eliminate the middleman?
I know. I don't know. And even though that's 3 words versus 1, the one word it's too complicated. Disintermediate. Let's just eliminate the middleman.
Yeah. Everybody understands that. That's an interesting one. Very interesting. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I don't know.
Back to your word hack, or the concept of hacks. So one that showed up on my list was a hack. Have you heard of it?
A hackathon? No.
So this is an intensive problem-solving session.
Okay. Again, aren't we just brainstorming? Oh my.
Oh, we like
we should really start making up words and see if they stick.
Yeah. Because I think about that too when things like sus become popular. Who started it? Where did it come from?
Yeah, I don't know. Because it had to move through, somebody famous or online or whatever had to say it, and
Yeah.
it stuck. I'm sure that's with Riz and all the other,
Yeah.
silly stuff, Giat, and who knows what else. All these weird things they say. Somebody had to start it. So I think we'll start one. We'll have to think up something we're going to start. We're going to make up a word, and it's going to be,
Okay.
I'm sure, go viral.
It's going to go viral for sure.
Yeah, I think so for sure. Yep. The last thing Amy has is she hates it when people start a response with, I mean.
Oh.
Yeah. Just say what you mean.
Yeah.
You don't have to say, well, I mean, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's a filler because I do fillers. I do a lot of fillers, and it's just a time filler to get to spit out what I'm really trying to say.
Yeah. It's like or something like that.
Yeah.
But it's such an odd one. And it really sticks out like a sore thumb, especially like in interviews. You're watching popular culture interviews, things like that. You'll typically see these younger. I'm stereotyping, but I'm stereotyping.
Yeah,
We're say like under 40-ish celebrity type people.
Okay.
Yeah, they'll start. So if for our listeners or viewers, if you haven't seen this or heard this before, what she's referring to is somebody will ask a question, and then the person responding will start their response with, I mean, and that's the pause, that's the filler. But it's such a weird, out of place filler.
Yeah, it's a strange one. But yeah, you do hear it. I don't know. Yeah. It's a weird one. What else do you have? You have anything else? Anything weird?
I'm trying to pull out the most irritating. I feel like I hit the most irritating ones.
Yeah. Like I said, a lot of the ones when you Google, I use them, actually.
Yeah. I do too.
Oh, well.
I do too. I'm using them less now as I am working as a team of one.
Probably. You don't tell yourself you need to, dig into this or unpack it, or we need to have a,
No, if I need to run things up the flagpole, it's literally just saying, hey, here's what we're going to do.
Just telling yourself to get in the right mindset to do it. Oh, funny.
That was one that showed up on my list. Let's run this up the flagpole.
Run up the flagpole. Yeah. I don't think I have ever used that term. No. Nope, never. Yeah, how are you getting used to being out of the corporate world and into your new business office in your home?
It is still just so weird. I mean, I feel like that's the best word that I can use to describe it. This is the thing that has kind of been rising to the top lately. I feel like I spent so many years thinking, okay, what do I have to do next? All right, okay, what do I have to do now? Yeah. But with this, not, okay, what do I get to do next? But with this, okay, what now? And I find myself at least a couple times a day starting to go that direction, like thinking, I'm doing this right now, but so what else is on my calendar that I have to do today? And then I realize everything that I have on my calendar, and I do, I mean, I block my days out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sitting around eating bonbons and, sleep until 10 and whatever. My day starts at 6 a.m. and I've time blocked, and this is my business now. But I have this realization a couple times a day that what I have to do next, I love doing it. And that's still sinking in. So it's just weird.
Yeah, I'll bet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, because what you're doing now isn't a job, where you used to go to a job.
Yeah.
Now it's
But I've had to stop myself from I've had as I've run into people, I've stopped myself from saying I quit my job. I didn't quit I quit one job. I quit one job.
Yeah.
I've had people say, "Did you retire?" Like, no, I didn't retire. So it's just getting used to so many things.
But, yep. I'll bet.
Loving it. And I do have to make myself leave the house. I went out to run an errand 2 days ago, and I realized that I was starting my car for the first time in like 4 days. Oh,
yeah. You probably need to get out more than that.
Yeah.
So our last episode, we talked about, how we're going to make new friends and make new connections mostly. Have you gone to have coffee?
No.
You haven't done that yet?
No.
Yeah. See, I think you need to pick a day, put that on your calendar for a special day or more days, however many.
Maybe I will
do it.
Maybe I will tomorrow.
There you go. Yeah. What days do you take all your packages to the post office?
Monday morning.
Monday morning.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Well, there you go. You're already out.
That was when I went.
That's when you started your car last.
Yeah, and I know because it's really cold here. Okay, so listeners, those of you who are in Florida or or Texas, whatever, it's been sub-zero here.
Yeah, it's been very cold. Very cold. It's supposed to warm up here the next couple of days. Are you going to get a little bit of a heat wave? Yeah, not heat, but warmer. Yeah.
Warmer. Yeah. But when you car every day, it doesn't, in the cold weather, it doesn't really like it. So I noticed that when I turn my car on, and it's like not used to turning over. So yeah, I need to get out.
There you go. That's your goal for the week.
Yeah, it is.
Get out.
I'll do it tomorrow.
Okay. Well, do you have a shot by chance?
Oh, I don't have a shot today.
No. Well, good. I have one.
Okay.
I downloaded an app called Mindscape.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I know that app. Mm-hmm.
And I did it because, of course, I got influenced because the ad or the whatever for it was along the lines on, smart people do this, stop scrolling all the time and get Mindscape so you can learn something, right? Yep. Instead of just mindlessly scrolling through your reels or whatever. So anyway, I've downloaded it. It's the gist of it basically is a short version of different books is what I'm gathering. So like it's like a synopsis of a book or what do they call that?
Yeah, like the cliff notes.
Short cliff notes of books, right? Yep. So like the first one I read was about Gretchen Whitmer, the former governor of Michigan and blah, blah, blah. And the one I read today was about Bitcoin. So it took me 15 minutes to read, and it tells you how long it's going to take you. 15 minutes to read about Bitcoin. And I didn't really get the whole gist of it, but enough where I could logically talk to you about about Bitcoin. You know what I mean? So it's things like that, better than Google, because when you like Google something, you get a little thing and then you got to jump to something else and keep asking questions. And even AI, I'm not sure, but yeah, I thought it was really interesting. So anyway, that's my shot of the day.
Okay. Is that a subscription? So it's a monthly
It is,
subscription?
And I can't remember how much a month. I think I paid for the year. Something like that. I don't know, or 6 months. But yeah, I thought of that as I started talking, but I don't know how much it costs. But there might be other things you could find similar for free. I don't know.
I'm so glad that you mentioned that, because I've seen that pop up on my socials. I've been very curious about it. And it kinds of things that you just take in, that those real concise pieces of content that can radically change conversations that you have with people. You don't have to be the expert on the entire topic.
Oh, I'm certainly not the expert on Bitcoin, but I could have a conversation.
Yeah.
And I think I could even almost kind of, one piece of it would be, compared to, say, Venmo. You know what I mean? I mean, how it actually works. Very similar. Which somebody's going to disagree. Oh my gosh, it's not anything like Venmo.
Yeah.
A little bit of it is, there's a lot of background that wouldn't be, but I just thought it was interesting. Now I know, the very abridged version of what Bitcoin is. So there you go.
So does it have, do you have to read it, or will it talk to you? Like,
will it do audio? That's a good question. I don't know. I haven't gotten that far yet. Like I said, I've read 2.
Okay.
So and neither time I was in a place where I could just let it go. I could get, earbuds and do it, I suppose. But so far I hadn't thought of that. So yeah, I'm sure you could.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Future. Good tip.
There you go. I know. Well,
we will hope that our cocktail comes back soon.
Yes.
She'll be back next week.
Oh yeah. Next episode she'll be here. So yes. So like I said, we're gonna sign off, and like I said, hope everyone is doing well and you miss all the crud that's going around.
Yeah. Yep. Hang in there, stay warm, stay well, and more fun conversations to come. Thank you guys for listening.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
See you next week.
All right. Ooh. Look. I got that wow. Who wants some hands up right now? We got that. Turn it up loud. I know you're wondering how. I got that wow. Here I go, coming. I can't ever stop. I'm a tour de force running. Get me to the top. I don't need an invitation. I'm about to start a celebration. Let me in. Brought a good time plus some friends. Turn it up loud past